Well, again, happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with Wake Up Flow with Beth Newell. On behalf of the University of Maryland Alumni Association, I thank you and welcome you. My name is Megan Sykes, and I am the membership coordinator at the Alumni Association. And we're so excited that you are able to join us today for today's class. This program is a part of the Alumni Association summer program, Camp Diamondback. So keep an eye on our event calendar. We have a summer full of free virtual programs. So a few little housekeeping tips for Zoom. If you can keep yourself muted, that's wonderful throughout, so we can hear only Beth. And for your viewing pleasure, if you put it on speaker view, you'll see no one in the gallery but exactly Beth, and you'll be able to see her spotlighted. We are recording, but you are not going to be necessarily on camera. We're doing this as just a part of our Camp Diamondback series. So if you do not want to be on camera, or you feel more comfortable just doing your yoga without the video on, please feel free, whatever works best for you. And mostly enjoy your workout and stay healthy this summer. And I'm going to turn it over to Beth. Thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you, Megan. And hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. I put in the chat a playlist for you all. So my recommendation, and this is usually what other students do in my live classes, is you can click on the Spotify playlist and then play that on a different device. So maybe you have me on your computer and then you play on an iPhone, any kind of phone, right? Maybe an Alexa, something you have, or you can play any kind of music that you love. So much of this practice, I really want you to tune in and take what you need, and that goes for the music too. I've also put my contact information in the chat if you have any questions about our practice after class. And other than that, let's just get started, right? And we'll start on our backs today. So go ahead and lie down. Right, it's the morning, so let's take a moment to act as if we're just rising up and out of bed. If you hear any kind of background noise, that's kind of what this quarantine life comes with, right? So that's an opportunity for you to come back to your breath and focus on that. I'd like to offer up an intention as kind of this guiding light for our practice. And this morning, I want the intention to be this focus of your breath, and keep it simple with that. Right? The breath has this power to lay the foundation for your day. So we'll breathe a lot, right? And we'll move a good amount too. And as you breathe, can you bring a little bit more intentionality to it to create more space in the mind and in the body? So as you lie down on your back, just let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let your feet fall open like pages in a book. And then draw a hand to your heart, a hand to your belly. And as you're here, see if you can begin to tune into breath. Begin to deepen it just slightly. And then see if you can begin to expand through the belly and the ribs and the chest as you breathe in. Yes, I see it, Rachel. Yes, I will resend the playlist for you. Give me one moment. All right, continue breathing like that. So find these three parts. Breathe in through the belly, the ribs, ripple it up into the chest. And then an open mouth exhale, slowly let it go. 3-part inhale, breathe in, rise up through the belly, expand through the ribs from side to side, lift through the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, let it go. Maybe there's a sigh at the bottom. Creating an expansion in the torso and the midline of the body. Let's take several more like that on our own. Right, we expand through the belly, bring it up into the ribs, fill out through the heart space or the chest. And then just let it go. Let's take about 5 more. And then as you're here, see if you can feel the back line of the body melt into the floor as you breathe out. And then this weightlessness as you breathe in and expand away from the floor, especially with the low back. Always an option to keep a bend in the knees if that feels better. You're welcome, Rachel. Good, let's take 2 more together. Breathe in. Then a big breath out. Another inhale. And an exhale. This time on your inhale, have both of your knees in towards your chest. Then just take some little rock and rolls from side to side. Okay, see if you can massage through the low back and then even the outer edges of the hips if you rock far enough. Keeping the shoulder blades heavy, even the back of the head is heavy. And then notice if there's any gripping in the jaw, can you let that go? Coming back to breath, finding that intentionality in our inhales and our exhales. And then come back through center. Keep your knees in towards your chest, but goal pose through your arms. Lay them down on the floor. Good, take a deep breath in through center. Truly fill up. Then as you exhale, let both knees fall up and over to the left side of your space. Coming into an easy twist. Tilt your chin towards your right armpit. Then see if we can find this spaciousness through the left side of the neck and the right side of the torso. Right, so much of yoga is simply breathing. So can you access breath on a deeper level, even in a twist? Good, 3 more breaths here. Providing yourself with this you time. Right? This opportunity for you to wake up and integrate into your day. Being gentle with yourself. On your next inhale, slowly draw your knees back through center. And as you exhale, let them fall up and over to the right this time. Tilt your chin to the left. See if you can keep the left shoulder rooted in the ground, right? Rooted in your space. And then just let whatever's happening with the legs naturally happen, right? Avoid forcing anything in the lower half of the body. And as you're here, come back to breath. Maybe you close the eyes if you haven't already. So we can take the effort away from that sense and bring it into the power behind our breath work. Take 2 more breaths, these nice big inhales. And these steady, slow exhales out through the mouth. On your next inhale, gently come back to center. And then squeeze your knees in towards your chest with a little bit more purpose. And grab onto the backs of the legs. And let's take about 3 rocks and rolls the length of our spine together. Great. This gives an opportunity to massage through the backside of the body with our own efforts. And then when you're ready, you can flip it through and come to seated on your shins. Maybe it feels better for you to roll to one side and then press up, right? It doesn't matter how we get there. All that matters is that we listen to our own bodies and what they're saying. Okay, so as you land on your shins, just seated on our knees. And you bring both palms down to your lap. So let's connect them to the tops of the thighs. And then this is the first moment where we're seated upright together. So can you let the eyes fall heavy or closed? Move your tongue away from the roof of your mouth and find this ease through the jawbone. And then see if you can scoop the low belly up and in towards the spine to find this neutral stack, vertebra over vertebra. Take a deep breath in. We still expand through the belly, bring it into the ribs, ripple it up into the chest and the collarbone spread. And then as you exhale, same way it entered. So through the chest, the ribs, then the belly, everything deflates. 2 more like that, creating this foundation with breath. Breathe in through the belly, the ribs, the chest. This is called your Durga Pranayama. And then breathe out, same way, chest, ribs, belly. Couple more on your own. Noticing if you're able to expand through the torso a little bit more than when we first started. Creating this depth in breath, this space in the body. Good, take 1 more together, breathe in. And then a simple breath out. Good, now prepare to rise up. Inhale, rise up to standing on your shins or your knees. Now always the option to place a towel under your kneecaps to keep the knees safe and supported. As you're here, sweep your arms up and overhead. Then as if we were standing on our feet, can we find this little tuck of the tailbone down to create this strong supported spine? Take a deep breath in. Maybe you gaze up towards your fingertips. As you exhale, find an open arm twist to the right. So send your right arm back, your left arm forward. And then pause for a moment here. Maybe there's this little micro bend through the elbows. And then we reach in opposite directions to find this opening, particularly through the right shoulder, but also this length through the wingspan. Good, take a big inhale, length through the spine. And then an exhale to twist just a little bit more as we reach the left hip back slightly. Good, inhale, rise up through center, align your arms with your ears. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Sweep your left arm back, send your right arm forward. And then we pause and we hold and breathe. Right, find that little bend in the elbows. See if you can lift the sternum up towards the chin. Little tuck of the chin in towards the notch in your throat. Good, send the right hip back slightly, left hip forward. Big breath in. Twist as you breathe out. Good, inhale, sweep both arms up through center. This time as you exhale, find a seated twist to the right. So go ahead and lower your bum down towards your heels. Then find this nice tall seat through the spine. Okay, place your left palm on the outer edge of your right thigh bone. And then see if you can tent your right fingertips, right on the outer edge of your right ankle, your right toes. And that way we can spin the right shoulder head back and then down away from the right earlobe. Good, gaze in the same direction of the notch in your throat. No need to gaze over the shoulder if it feels like too much this morning. Creating this ease in movement, in stillness, and in breath. Take a deep inhale. And let the exhale be subtle. As you breathe in, rise back up to standing on your shins, on your knees. Sweep your arms up, biceps aligned with the ears. Exhale, seated twist to the left, just taking it to the opposite side. Place the right palm on the outer edge of the left thigh and then tent your fingertips behind your seat. See if you can spin the left shoulder head down and back this time. And then draw the right shoulder forward. Maybe we access a deeper twist if we do. Low belly continues to scoop up and in, and the tailbone just gently tucks, just slightly. Good, access your inhale. And soften on your exhale. Good, next inhale, rise up to standing on your shins. Now exhale, open arm twist once more to the right. Send the right fingertips back, left fingertips forward. This time as we inhale, gather up breath and send the left fingertips high. Let the right palm glide down the back of the right thigh. Okay, so we find this little opening through the left side of the waist, maybe even the left hip flexor. Now take a deep breath in, maybe flare through the fingertips and gaze up towards your thumb. As you exhale, just lower the left palm down to your space, find the center of your mat. Good, and then breathe in, send your right arm high. And then pause for a moment. So we're coming into a thread the needle. So can you stack shoulder blade over shoulder blade? Almost like this tripod shape, right? With our hand that's planted and our two knees, two shins. Good, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath of your left arm. Then place the top of your hand down on the floor. Okay, so right palm faces up. And then you can walk the left fingertips out in front of you, right, the length of your arm. Maybe you tent them like there's a cupcake underneath. Creates a little bit more support, a little bit more opening through the shoulder too. Can you press your right shoulder into the floor so you can spin the left side of the chest or the heart space open? And then even here, right, maybe our temple is pressed to the floor. Can we come back to breath? Maybe even when things feel unfamiliar, if this shape does, can we come back to simply breathing as a foundation for our practice? Therefore, a foundation for life. Take a deep breath in, and then we steady as we breathe out. Good, now begin to plant through your right palm. Just bring it under your shoulder. Inhale, sweep the right arm high. Then exhale, lower the right hand down. Okay, we make our way to a tabletop, just coming to all fours. See if you can draw the shoulders over the center of your hands. That way we come out of the wrist a little. Good, and then press into the finger pads a little more. Pull the low belly up and in towards the low back. Let's take a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, drop through the belly, find your cow pose. See if you can squeeze the shoulders back towards your hips, but then truly let the torso relax. Right, gaze forward. Maybe you gaze up if you're looking for more throat opening. Take another sip of air in, deep breath in. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck the chin in towards your chest and then point the crown of your head directly down between your thumbs. The low belly pulls up and in, and the shins and the tops of the feet press into the floor. Good, breath to movement. Inhale, cow pose, drop through the belly, gaze forward or up. Exhale, cat pose, chin slightly tucks into towards the chest. Then take a couple more rounds on your own. Flowing breath to movement. Adding in anything else that feels intuitive in the body in this moment, right? Maybe it's some hip circles, maybe it's a wag of the tail, right? It doesn't matter how anything looks. Likely it's just you in your space, right? Taking this time for yourself. Always an option to flip the fingertips backwards if you spend a lot of time on a laptop. A little bit of a wrist stretch. And then just continue to work through it. Maybe it's stillness that feels best. Let's find about 2 more breaths here. Noticing what the body needs in the morning, right? Lays this foundation to be aware of ourselves, right? Self-awareness throughout the day. And then as you're ready, make your way back to a neutral tabletop. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just sit back on your heels, bring your hands to your lap. Inhale, rise up to standing on your knees or your shins. And right away, exhale, open arm twist to the left, just taking it to the other side. This time, as you breathe in, shine the right palm high, then let the left palm travel down the back of the left leg. As you're here, can you feel that opening along the right side of the waist? Maybe you bend a little to the left if you need more. Wherever you are, the tailbone continues to tuck for support through the back. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower the right palm down to the floor. See if you can stack the right elbow and then right shoulder up and over top. And then as you inhale, sweep the left arm high. Pause for a moment. And see if you can stack shoulder over shoulder and then find this little pinch of the shoulder blades to open through the chest. Another sip of air, breathe in. Exhale, thread the needle, thread the left arm underneath the right. Then let their left palm face up, press down through the top of the hand. Maybe you walk the right fingertips up and overhead and then tent up. Wherever you are, can you keep this integrity with everything that's pressed on the floor? So press into the feet, press into the shin bones a little more, and then see if you can use that as leverage to spin open through the heart space, creating this nice steady base. Take another inhale, and let it go with an exhale. This time, plant through your right palm, bring it to the floor. Good, and then on your inhale, sweep your left arm high. Noticing if we've created more space. Exhale, both palms to the floor. Couple more cat-cows. Inhale, cow pose, drop through the belly, squeeze the shoulders back towards the hips. Exhale, cat pose, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Okay, 2 more together. Inhale, belly drops and relaxes. Exhale, it pulls up and in towards the spine. Let's take another inhale. And an exhale. Good, this time take a deep breath in. Just find a neutral stack of your spine. Bring the shoulders back over the wrists. And then tuck your toes under. And as you exhale, find your downward facing dog, your inverted V shape. Okay, and then right away, let's pedal out through the feet. Right, know that everything is an option. If in this moment you need something different, right, then that's what you take. Wherever you are, find a little bend through the knees so you can tilt the tailbone a little bit higher. And then press into the finger pad so we take some pressure out of the wrists. See if you can wrap the outer upper arms back around the bones, right, toward your thighs. The sides of the neck align with your biceps, right, to your arms, so we can keep this length. And then as you're here, take a deep breath in, rise up to the balls of your feet, feel the stretch in the soles of your feet. As you exhale, sink your heels closer towards the floor, no need for them to touch whatsoever. 2 more, inhale, rise up to the balls of your feet. Exhale, sink the heels a little closer. Last one, inhale, lift. And an exhale to lower down. Good, now as you breathe in, gaze back towards your feet. On your exhale, just walk your hands back towards the back of your space. Right, coming into a forward fold. And then bring your feet to hips width distance if they aren't already. And we'll find a little ragdoll, right, just dangle. See if you can grab onto opposite elbows. Then notice if there's any gripping in the back of the neck, and you just let that go. Right, let the creases iron out. Crown of the head points down. Doesn't matter how far you bend. Then maybe you access this generous bend through the knees so the belly can drape towards the thighs. Right, we get to support ourselves with our own bodies. And then maybe you find this sway from right to left. What I love to do in the morning is find a sway from front to back. Right, a little bit of traction on the spine. Good, and then as you're here, bring your big toes to touch. Release your fingertips down. And as you breathe in, slowly roll up to standing. Okay, see if you can stack vertebra over vertebra. The hips begin to stack over the knees, and the shoulders stack over the hips, the neck, and the head rises last. Okay, when you reach the top, just draw your hands to touch at heart center. Thumbs might be right beneath the collarbone. And then see if you can press them together with a little bit more attention. Coming back to the intention of our practice, right? This idea of laying the foundation for your day with simply your breath and a little bit of movement. Carving out this time for you. And with that, take a deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale, let it go. One more, inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. And then with that same mindfulness, take a steady walk to the top of your mat. See if you can take your time getting there, right? Finding this patience with yourself and with your practice. And then wherever you are, begin to drop your hands by your sides. Go ahead and scoot you all back just slightly. All right, and then we'll set ourselves up for a flow, layering on to the foundation that we've created. Okay, so this time, inhale, mountain pose Tadasana. Sweep both arms up and overhead. And then pause for a moment. Okay, big toes are touching. If it feels better for the feet to be wider, that creates a little bit of a stronger base for your body, then go ahead and take it. Wherever you are, can you find this equal space between the inner and outer edges of your feet? And then lift all 10 toes up, spread them wide. Place them down one by one from the outside in, right? That's your strong supported base. Find a little tuck of the tail down, low belly up and in, and then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, find an open arm twist to the right. Good, inhale, find that exalted warrior shape. So bring the right palm down the back of the right thigh and send the left arm high. And go ahead and bring your feet to hips width distance if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in. Good, and then as you exhale, lower the left fingertips to the floor, send the right arm high. So it's like the same shape that we took on our knees, right? But see if you can bring a generous bend through the left knee, and then we come into an IT band stretch. Notice, can you draw the right shoulder back in space to stack over the left? Maybe this feels like a big stretch along the outer edge of the right leg. Right, wherever you are, can you simply breathe into it? Right, allowing yourself a moment to expand, allowing those little tissues along the outer edge of the thigh to expand. Take another sip of air in, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, just drape over your legs. As you inhale, find a halfway lift, right? Ardha Uttanasana. See if you can squeeze the elbows in, and then send the crown of your head forward. Always an option to place your palms on your shins. Maybe it's your upper thighs where mine are for a little bit more support. Good, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, find a low lunge, step the left toes back. And then take a moment to set this up. So let's see if you can stack the front knee over your ankle. And then stack the back heel over the back toes or the ball of your foot. Fingertips are tented, even the belly can rest on the thigh. And then as you breathe in, drop the hips about halfway down and send the collarbones forward, gaze forward, and then squeeze the shoulders back. All right, so we come into a little bit of a chest opener, but also a left hip flexor opener. Good, take another deep breath in to expand. And as you exhale, downward facing dog is where we meet, step it back. On your inhale, sweep the left heel high. Now know that it does not have to lift up all the way towards the ceiling, right? Maybe we lift it up just a foot away from our space to prepare. And then exhale, low lunge, step your foot between your thumbs. Good, this time as you breathe in, drop your right knee down and sweep your arms up, find a crescent moon. Okay, and then this is a moment where maybe you want to place a towel underneath your right knee for a little bit more padding and support. As you're here, can you let the shoulders glide down and away from the earlobes? And then we keep that integrity through the low back. So a little tilt of the pelvis down and a little lift of the hip points up. Good, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, find a forward fold at the top of your mat. And keep your feet at hips width. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Squeeze the elbows in. Exhale to fold, drape over your thigh bones. As you breathe in, rise all the way up to standing. Let the fingertips glide up towards the ceiling. And then we'll take it to the other side. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Good, as you inhale, draw the right fingertips high. Let the left fingertips glide down the back of the left leg. And then exhale, tent the right fingertips on the floor. Let them glide down. Take your time getting there. On your inhale, shine your left fingertips high and pause for a moment. Access that generous bend through the right kneecap this time. Right, opening through the outer edge of the left thigh, maybe even the outer edge of the left hip, where the IT band connects. Can you spin the left shoulder back in space? Find this opening even along the sides of the waist. Good. Inhale, breath. Exhale to fold through center. Inhale, halfway lift once more. Exhale, low lunge. This time, draw the right toes back in space. Take a moment to set this up. Right, your foot should be at the center between both of your thumbs, and the fingertips should be tented away from the floor. Maybe the back heel stacks over the ball of your foot. You can gaze back and see if that's happening. And then as you breathe in, go ahead and drop the hips down halfway as we did on the other side. Right, the left hip might want to jut out in space. Can we squeeze the inner thighs together even though they're apart? And then wrap the shoulder heads back and down. Gather up one more sip of air. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Good. On your inhale, sweep your right leg high. Now notice, right, we can lift it up as high as we want to. So maybe it's halfway down or all the way up. Exhale, low lunge, step it between your thumbs. Yeah, and take your time getting there. As you breathe in, drop the left knee down, sweep your arms out to the sides and then up so the biceps align with the arms. And then just pause and take a moment to set this up. Okay, so maybe there's this action of drawing the ball of your front foot back in space, right? It doesn't actually move, but then we squeeze the inner thighs together. Let the shoulder blades glide down. And then let the jaw relax. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold, step to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, please rise. Exhale, Samasthiti, gather your hands in towards your heart space. Okay, and then draw a hand to your heart, a hand to your belly, just as we started. Gather up breath, breathe in through the belly, the ribs, the chest, coming back to our 3-part breath. And then breathe out, let it go, chest, ribs, belly. 2 more, inhale. And a slow, steady exhale. Last one on your own. Good, beautiful job. And then we'll begin to find this union between breath and movement. So we'll flow one breath to movement, moving a little faster. But know in this moment, you can go at your own pace. You can pause along the way at any piece, right, of this flow that feels a little bit juicy, like you could stay there for a while. Right? This is a moment to be your own teacher too. So as you inhale, sweep both arms out and then up, biceps align with the ears. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Good. Inhale, send the left palm high. Let the right fingertips glide down the back of the leg. With the feet at hip width, exhale, plant the left fingertips on the floor. Keep them tented. Little bend through the left knee. Inhale, send the right arm high. Exhale, forward fold, drape over the legs. Stay with your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step the left toes back behind you. On your inhale, drop the hips down halfway, shine the collar forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. Good, breathe in, send the left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step it between your thumbs, take your time getting there. On your inhale, crescent moon, drop the right knee down, sweep the arms out and then up. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, rise. Right to the other side. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, draw the right palm high, left palm down the back of the leg. Exhale, swan dive down, lower the right fingertips to the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm high. Exhale, forward fold, both fingertips down, both palms down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, step the right toes back this time. Inhale, send the chest forward, shoulder blades back, drop the hips just slightly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe the big toes are touching. As you breathe in, lift the right heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step it between your thumbs. Okay, take your time, you have this. Drop the left knee down, inhale, crescent moon, rise up. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Siddhasana, rise. Exhale, draw the hands to touch, bring the thumbs into the heart space. Good, one deep breath in. One subtle breath out. Good, as you breathe in, sweep both arms out and up to the sides. And this time, just exhale, forward fold through center. You can bring the hands to prayer through center if you'd like. Completely up to you. As you inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low lunge, step the left foot back. Now this time, press down through the outer edge of the left foot. Okay, we're about to rise up into a warrior one, so we'll build this foundation. Maybe you widen your stance from right to left and then shorten it slightly from front to back. And then as you breathe in, go ahead and rise up, find your warrior one. All right, a standing posture. And then once again, maybe you play with your stance. Widen it a little more, right? Creating that sturdy base in your legs. And see if you can press into the outer arch of your left foot just a little more, right? Deeper into your space. Hold the right hip back, send the left hip flexor forward. And then squeeze through the left thigh, right? Maybe even through the left glute to protect the low back. Good, take an inhale, right? Align the arms with your ears if you haven't already. And then as you exhale, just airplane the arms and tilt the chest and the torso forward, about like a 45-degree angle up and away from the right thigh. Good, let the palms face up. Let the thumbs wrap inward. Another one, inhale, rise up. You can keep the palms facing forward. Exhale, airplane the arms, sweep them back. Last one like that, inhale, rise up. And an exhale to sweep. Now this time on your inhale, go ahead and walk your front foot back to the center of your space. And then rise up into a high crescent. So lift your back heel up and away from the floor, almost like we would in a low lunge, but now we're in a high crescent lunge, right? Just lift it away from the floor. See if you can align your biceps with your ears and then deepen it just slightly to stack your front knee over your ankle. Always an option to stay lifted. Right, a really great option to bring a bend through the left knee so you can tilt the tailbone down. No need for the back leg to be straight. Okay, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, find an open arm twist to the right. Right, this is where we've been building to. So in this moment, can you reach the right fingertips back and send the left fingertips forward? And then on your next breath in, we find a full exalted warrior. So bring your right palm down the back of your left leg and draw your left fingertips high. Maybe feeling more of an intense stretch than we felt yet along the left side of the body. Good, press the earth away from you or the air away from you with the heel of your back foot. Good, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, just cartwheel down, find a low lunge. As you inhale, drop through the hips, wrap the shoulders back, and go ahead and spread through the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Siddhasana, rise. Exhale, draw the hands into heart center. Okay, pause for a moment, find 3 breaths. Deep breath in through the nose, expanding through the body. And then a subtle breath out, feeling our feet ground into the floor as we exhale. Another one, inhale. And another breath out. Last one, breathe in. And then let it go. Good, we'll take it to the other side. Inhale, mountain pose, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can draw the hands to your heart center if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge. Step the right toes back this time. And then take a moment to set up in your legs. So maybe you walk the left foot out to the side just slightly, and then press the outer edge of the right foot into the floor. Okay, see if you can squeeze through the back quadricep, right, the right quadricep. And then on your inhale, rise up on your warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Okay, see if the shoulders can glide down the back, towards the back of the ribs, the hips, and then squeeze through the right glute and continue to wrap the left hip back. We find this integrity through the low back. And then can we stack vertebra over vertebra, finding this tall stance. Okay, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, airplane the arms, sweep them back. Let the thumbs face in, palms are reaching up towards the ceiling. Good, inhale, draw them up. Arms aligned with the ears, palms are forward. Exhale to sweep. Last one together, inhale, rise. And an exhale, drop it back. Right now this time, as you rise up, find your crescent lunge, your high crescent. Okay, so maybe you walk the left foot back to the center of your space, and then reach your right heel high so it stacks over the ball of your foot. Find a generous bend through the right knees. You can drop through the pelvis and hug the low ribs in. Good, take a big inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, find that open arm twist to the left. You notice, right? Can you find this opening through the wingspan, a drop through the shoulders, and a lift through the low belly? Good, next time you inhale, send the right arm high. Let the left fingertips glide down the back of the right leg, finding our full exalted warrior shape. See if you can breathe into this spaciousness along the right side of the waist. Right? Particularly the psoas muscle might be where you're feeling it. Connects our legs to our trunk. Sip in air, breathe in. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel the palms down. On your inhale this time, reach your collarbones forward, wrap the shoulder heads back. Exhale, downward facing dog, bring your big toes to touch. Good, on your inhale, drop it forward to a tabletop, come down to your knees. And then bring your knees either to mat's width distance or hips width distance, depending on what you need this morning, and draw the big toes to touch. Take a deep breath in. Child's pose as you breathe out. You sit the hips back on the heels, and then walk the fingertips out in front of you so you can find this length through the sides of the waist. And you can lower through the forehead, right? Finding a neutral neck. And then notice, as you continue to breathe, can you stay with that 3-part breath? Just developing this awareness around what happens as you breathe in. Maybe the belly lifts you up and away from your thighs. And then as you breathe out, can you melt your chest towards the floor a little bit more? Notice that the fingertips reach forward and the hips reach back. Good, another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. On your inhale, glide it forward, find a tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. And then take a deep breath in, gaze back towards your feet. Exhale, forward fold at the back of your mat. So we walk our fingertips back to our feet once more. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold, drape over your thighs. Now this time, let's find a chair pose. So bring your big toes to touch. Leave this little sliver of space between the heels. And then keep the hips low, draw the knees over the ankles, and rise up halfway, like you're seated in a chair. Okay, see if you can squeeze the inner thighs together, and then we find this energetic pull of our feet apart, They won't move, but that'll help fire up the outer hips, the inner thighs, and keep the legs strong. Okay, can you lower the seat just a little more and then lift up through the chest? Good, take a deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, come up to standing, draw the hands to your heart center. We'll set up for one of my favorite postures in yoga, right? So it's a tree pose. I'll go ahead and face you for this one. Coming into a bit of a balance. Okay, so plant through the sole of your left foot, and then go ahead and bring the sole of your right foot somewhere on the leg, right? Maybe you tent your toes on the inner edge of your foot. That's totally fine, right? Taking this in levels, right? And just noticing how it feels. You can also bring it to the inner edge of the calf. Maybe you bring it up and above the kneecap to the inner thigh. And then as you're here, see if you can press the palms together and let the shoulders fall down the back line of the body. The sternum lifts up towards the ceiling and the throat tucks slightly in towards, the chin tucks slightly in towards the throat. Your palms are pressing. Right, maybe you begin to grow your branches out to the side. You can also align them up with your ears. Right, maybe for a moment you sweep them around in space and do something funky and let yourself play. Wherever you are, come back to breath. Super important in a balance. It creates this, as we call it in yoga, dharana, right, or this inner focus. And then maybe you find something to gaze on, which we call your drishti. Take a breath in. Good, and then lower the right foot down. Let's take it to the other side. Okay, so lift up through the left toes and then plant them where it feels comfortable. So maybe it's to the inner edge of the calf. If you just keep them on the floor like a little kickstand, right? No one variation is better than the other, right? You're here, you're showing up, take what you need. Wherever you are, draw the palms back to center. Good, and then this time, go ahead and tee out through your arms. Take a deep breath in, find that expansion through the chest. As you exhale, wrap the arms in, right? Wrap them around your body. And in this moment, I've set you up to give yourself a hug, right? So maybe you are a parent, right? Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you're a partner, whatever you are, I guarantee that you give a lot of yourself. So in this moment, give yourself a little bit of your own love. One big breath in. And lower your left foot down as you breathe out, release through the arms, take a little shake. Shake through the legs, shake through the fingertips, the wrists. Good, and then walk yourself to the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in, sweep the arms out by your side, send them up and overhead. Exhale, forward, fold over your legs. We're coming down to our backs, I promise. Inhale, halfway lift. And then this time as you exhale, find a generous bend in your knees, come up to the balls of your feet and tent your fingertips out in front of you, coming into this little supported ball pose. Good, and then just begin to lower down to your seat in whatever way you can get there. Doesn't have to be anything super graceful. And right away, let's lower onto our backs. Okay, and then stamp both soles of your feet to hips width distance on the floor. Stack your knees over your ankles. And then plant your palms right next to your hips, down on your space. As you breathe in, find a bridge pose. So lift your hip points up towards the ceiling. And then see if you can point your tailbone in the direction of your knees. Good, take a deep breath in, gaze up towards the ceiling so we find this opening through the throat and also the back of the neck, sides of the neck. Exhale, gently lower it down. Good, then leave the sole of the left foot planted. Pick up the right heel, cross it over the left thigh bone. Okay, coming into a figure four. And then notice, maybe this feels like a lot. Right? You can tilt the right knee away from you to find more spaciousness along the left hip. If you need a little bit more, you can dive your hands through center and thread the needle grabbing onto the back of your left leg. Okay, see if you can flex your left toes in towards your kneecap if you do so that the shin bone parallels with the floor. And then we find this opening even throughout the sole, bottom of the foot. If you notice any little noises, that is a puppy in the crate, so he wouldn't get in the middle of our practice. See if you can tune that out and come back to breath. A deep breath in, truly fill up. And then a deep breath out, let it go. Good, now as you're here, leave your legs as they are. Begin to tee out through your arms, truly take up space. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let your legs fall up and over to the right, or the left, I'm sorry. And then just notice. Notice you're okay. Okay, so see if you can stamp the sole of your right foot on the floor, and then the outer edge of your left foot meets your mat as well. And then just like we started, can you tilt your chin to the right? Right, so just coming into another twist with a little bit more depth to it. See if you can let the back line of the body truly relax and melt. Take a deep breath in. And then a subtle breath out. On your inhale, draw it back through center. Good, and then release through your feet, stamp through the bottoms of your feet. Right, a couple of times, just stomp them on the ground. And then leave the sole of your right foot planted. Go ahead and thread the opposite leg on top, right? So bring your left ankle on top of your right knee, right thigh. Then maybe this is where you stay and tilt the knee away from you. If you'd like to, if it felt right on the other side, maybe you thread the needle and grab onto the back of the thigh. Okay, see if you can flex your toes. And then just keep the back of the head, the neck, grounded on the floor. As you're here, take a deep breath in. And then begin to tee out through your arms as you breathe out. Another one, inhale. Exhale, find a twist to the right side of your space. Okay, so see if you can stamp the sole of your left foot on the floor and then the outer edge of your right foot. Good, we breathe in this spaciousness through the left side of the hip. Maybe the chin tilts to the left side of your space. Just take a deep breath in and find this subtleness in breath. And then a breath out. On your inhale, gently come back through center. And then hug both of your knees into your chest. We're preparing for a moment of rest, or shavasana. Okay, as you're here, can you grab onto opposite elbows, but let the back of your head and your neck remain grounded in the floor. Give yourself this tight squeeze, this moment of recognition for showing up on your space. Then take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let it go. Find your shavasana. Let your legs go long. Let your feet fall open like pages in a book, just as we started. And as I often say at the end of class, this moment right here is the most important part of our practice. This moment for you to be okay and comfortable in stillness, right? To give yourself some rest and then integrate back into your day. So let the eyes fall heavier closed if you haven't already. And then see if you can even relax right in the eye sockets. Relax in the jaw. Remove your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Let yourself just subtly breathe in this way that you can carry with you throughout your day. And we'll spend just a couple of minutes here resting like this, and I will call you out when it's time. All that I ask is, even if there are any distractions, right, just do your best to come back to your breath. It's as simple as that. And then know that in this moment, you are welcome to stay here as long as you need. In some classes, right, I've taken like a 20-minute Shavasana if I can. Some days it's 30 seconds. Wherever you are, start to connect with your breath once again. Deepening it slightly, bringing that foundation right into your day. And then if you're moving on with me, maybe you find these little wiggles through your fingertips, right? Wiggles through your toes. And then maybe some wrist circles, ankle circles. And let's find a long body stretch. So reach your fingers up and overhead, reach your toes towards the edge of your space. Just truly take up space from top to bottom. See if you can flare through the rib cage. Then on your next exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. And then as you're ready, go ahead and rock over, let's say to your right side. Right, the right tends to be a little bit more energizing. So this way will prepare you for the day ahead. And then pause here for a moment and give yourself that recognition once more for taking this time for yourself. Can't say it enough. Right, an internal pat on the back. And then rise up to a seat. Find your Sukhasana or your easy seat. You can just cross a shin bone in front of the other. And then draw your hands to your heart space. Okay, you can bring your thumbs to the center of your chest. And drop your chin in towards your chest. Good, take a deep breath in. And a subtle breath out. With your thumbs there at your heart space, may there be so much love there in that space. Bring your thumbs to your lips. May you speak kind words. Draw your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. May your thoughts be filled with both love and kindness towards others and please towards yourself too. We often forget that. Take a deep breath in, lift through the crown of your head. As you exhale, find a fold forward. And then I'll share with you today, it's Shanti, 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 which means peace, 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 right? So hopefully we can carry on in peace. So thank you all so much. We are running a couple of minutes over, but I wanted to give you a decent amount of rest. Oh, you're so welcome, Rachel. The kind of yoga that we did today was really a blend of hatha and vinyasa, so a little bit of flow, but also pausing along the way. I am so happy to have had all of you here. I forgot to say it at the beginning, but I am a University of Maryland alumni, so that's why I'm here with you today. My contact information is in the chat. Always feel free to listen to the playlist again if you'd like to. And most of all, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you so much for being here.